So, Thyla, you are watching this, frankly, bloodbath going on within the tourney arena through the manifested ghost of your father, that is the mechanic of your spellbook. You're watching your friends dart about, and you're watching your friends dart about and kind of just lay waste. There's roughly 150, 200 people within this arena, all just absolutely just trashing each other to the death. And you're aware that while this is a controlled situation, there are healers on hand. You have lived a very sequestered life away in the colleges of the arcane and haven't been around a lot of death, and it's kind of occurring to you that the masses, the culture, the people all have much more of a desensitized outlook on death than you realized. As people just start dropping, people are reveling in the fact that they have just killed someone and downed someone and looking around for the next combat, and it's a bit overwhelming for you. It's a lot to see this eye opener of everyone's brutal. This is a world that, while you've seen all of this beautiful festival going on and all of this happy-go-lucky, all of these same people are ruthless. And your other eye draws out constantly, as it has been doing all this time, to the ocean. You're in this kind of sequestered spot. You've kind of tried to tuck yourself away, and you can see the garden reefs, and right now there's no one out there. And you remember the notes of your father. What are you up to?
I'm tired.
Okay.
I'm still exhausted. I'm upset.
Oh yeah, you still have that point of exhaustion because you just read through the night.
I'm upset. Anarian and Pod lying to me. Pod not so much. Pod seemed to be pretty anxious to tell me about the church. But they tried to lie to me and keep that a secret. I just watched someone who I assumed was a monk summon a packed weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So I am hanging out with at least one warlock now.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you two questions real quick. One, why does it bug you that they lied to you?
They're the first people I've trusted.
Okay.
Basically in my entire life. I don't have very many friends. Pretty much spent my entire life hanging out with Dad or going to college or reading books or something. Like, I could...
So this is maybe the first couple of betrayals you've ever felt. Aside from, like, maybe your dad going missing, but that's not necessarily a betrayal. In Thyla's mind, it's still very much a, where did he go? What happened to him?
Exactly. Right. And the fact that it's happening all at once while I'm exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
And while I'm just looking for my dad. And then the Mage Breakers are here.
Mm-hmm.
And like everything is just crashing down all at once. So all of these little things just feel so much heavier. And at this point, maybe it's just out of like anger or naivete.
Okay.
I see the watering hole out in the distance, and I'm gonna go in there.
Okay.
Whether or not they come with me, I'm going in there. And I pull out my spell book and I just kind of like crisscross applesauce on the seats that I'm in. And I start casting water breathing on myself.
Okay.
Breathe underwater for 24 hours. It's
all right.
The immediate thought, I'm going in.
Okay. I would say that you wandered away a bit and you're kind of on the outskirts of the tourney looking in so that you can actually have access to be able to also see the ocean from this angle, or at least the specific garden reefs. My second question real quick is, you, through your ghostly apparition of your father, see that the party reaching some kind of agreement turn on each other. And amidst all these corpses, which the healers are already coming out and reviving people and stuff like that, they look like they're about to have at it. They look like they're about to throw down with each other. How does Thylo feel about that?
I don't really know these people. I mean, Pod was a cook. Anarian was just like a church guy. Like, and I know the church does some stuff, but I never expected it to be like, yeah, he's the one that wants to go murder.
Mm-hmm.
And they now are doing it against them, to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I stop watching.
Okay.
I undo my ghost.
You undo your ghost. Right as you do so, a lot of your vision kind of centers around again, and you hear, "Yeah, that's him, right there." And you turn, and you see Maya pull out a bead and flick it at you. The kind of scraggly individual that came up and tried to sell shells to you and then like drifted off, looks like he ended up putting a few things together with his ear to the ground. You need a dex save. As this bead, you just kind of, you're processing, the panic just sets in as this bead hits your chest.
Let me check something really quick.
Okay.
Cool. I do not have disadvantage on saving throws yet.
Okay.
Just ability checks.
It's a dex save of 10.
Well, that was a 15 on the die, so...
Okay. You manage to throw yourself backwards as the bead does like this weird warping in the air, and like you see all this warp close in real fast right outside of the range of where you were. Maya goes, "Come on, move in." And you see a rogue-like individual kind of step out from one side, and an arcanist of some kind, who is not affiliated with any mage college that you recognize, kind of step out from another doorway. Roll initiative.
Love this. This is great.
Maya tosses a coin purse to the street vendor, this vagrant that has been wandering around.
Okay, I make brief eye contact with the street vendor guy. And, you know, I try to muster, like, "Oh, you rascal, I'm gonna remember this." But it's probably just, "Oh no." What is happening?
All right. So what'd you get on initiative?
5.
Oh no. Oh god. Okay. Well, there's good news. You are going before the rogue.
Great.
Oh god. Okay. All right. Maya steps forward. Maya, thank you. You know, you'd think I'd remember the names I come up with. She steps forward and says, "What mage college do you really serve?" And you watch as she pulls out this real big mace, quickly closes with you, and swings on the knee with a... Ooh, that's not great. With a 12 to hit.
It does not.
It does not hit. You manage to bring your foot up, your knee right up. This mean-looking flanged mace swings right under you, and the wizard starts holding his action. It is your turn.
I don't serve a mage college. What are you gonna do? Toss me in the water with all the other bodies?
The rogue behind you.
All can find rest in Raiden's embrace, especially those so interested in our holy garden reefs.
And then Thyla, going from like really scared, just suddenly gets weirdly calm.
Interesting.
Because a thought just occurred to him.
Okay.
I can already breathe underwater.
Uh-huh.
And if they're gonna toss my dead body in where I'm trying to go anyway...
Uh-huh.
I am going to hold my action.
Okay.
Until the moment before I am hit with the next attack.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm gonna say, look, there's 3 of them, or there's 4 of them?
There's 3 of them. The vagrant is a commoner. Doesn't have any levels in anything.
It's 3 on 1. And obviously, I'm not a fighter. So if you're gonna do it, just do it.
The rogue steps up behind you and swings with a 15 to hit.
15 hits.
Okay. That's a sneak attack. Okay.
But that does trigger my held action.
Yep.
I cast Feign Death on myself.
Okay. Okay.
And I have an
Okay.
ability
I see
as
where
an
you're
Order
going.
of Scribe's Wizard that allows me to cast a ritual spell without doing the ritual.
Say that again?
I have an ability as an Order of Scribe's Wizard. I can cast a ritual spell without the ritual.
Okay.
So it does not take me 10 minutes. It merely takes me the 1 action.
Okay. Well, you feel a knife slide into a spot just right left of your spine, and it twists. And that is 16 points of piercing damage.
It's actually only 8, because Feign Death gives me resistance to all physical attacks.
Let me look this spell up real quick. I believe you on that, Mark. I'm gonna see if they can figure out that you are casting Feign Death. I believe it says something along the lines of like, it tricks the person that.
You touch a willing creature and put it into a cataleptic state that is indistinguishable from death. For the spell's duration, or until you use an action to touch the target and dismiss the spell, the target appears dead to all outward inspection and to spells used to determine the target's status. The target is blinded and incapacitated, and its speed drops to 0. The target has resistance to all damage except psychic damage. If the target is diseased or poisoned when you cast a spell, or becomes diseased or poisoned while under the spell's effect, the disease and poison have no effect until the spell ends.
So, pointedly, you're still conscious, which means you're still lucid and aware of everything that's happening, even though you're incapacitated. You feel that stab in your back, which is diminished to 8, and you fold. The wizard, you vaguely hear go, "Oh, I thought he would try to teleport away or turn invisible. Why did you bring us all the way out here for this? He's so weak. This was not worth my time at all, Maya." And she goes, "He's been eluding me ever since. He's been quite difficult to track. It's the rest of his friends that we need to be concerned with. They've caused nothing but trouble for Speaker Onart." "Well, I'm glad I could be of assistance." "Be off with you." "Yes. Come, Heathrow." And you feel an additional kick in your side from the rogue, and maybe the blood on your back gets wiped off on your face as
dick.
Yep. as two footsteps walk away, as you are bodily lifted up, thrown over a shoulder, a sack is put over your head, and you are carried away. A bit of time passes, in which case you hear a few words pass here and there. Go ahead and make a perception check at disadvantage.
Because I'm dead or tired. Well, the second roll was a 19. That's gonna be a 7?
7? Okay. You hear Speaker Onart seem to pass some judgment, make some a command about how to go about this. And then some more movement, and as you barely understand what's going on around you, you do perceive that you're in a boat, and you're trying to recall what you heard from Speaker Onart with a 7. Something about, well, the ritual can't happen if he's actually dead. And as you're brought out in the boat, someone casts Revivify on you, which doesn't have any effect. And there's an awkward moment in the boat, just kind of lapping in the Holy Garden Reefs where you always wanted to be. And then you hear, which Maya, damn, is no longer with you. Maya is no longer with you. It seems that some priests of some kind are there now and don't have the full context of everything that's going on. They're just kind of doing what they're told, making that paycheck. You know what I mean? And you hear one of them go, and you're thrown overboard. And that's where we're gonna cut it there and cut to the future. You feel the splash of cold water, and immediately you start sinking as if something has been chained to you. Ben, thank you for coming in. Ben, thank you for coming in off the normal scheduled time to help us. Do you want to talk about some of the stuff you're up to real quick? What some of the shows you're doing?
Yeah, so this is going to air while I will be in Ohio. I will be performing in Toledo, Ohio right now.
At this moment, I am too.
Tomorrow I'll be in Columbus, and the next day I'll be in Cincinnati. And on the 9th, I will be in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So if you guys are in those areas, want to come see me do stand-up comedy, there's that. November, I will be all over Florida. So, Gainesville, Tallahassee, Orlando, Tampa, Fort Myers, hopefully, Jacksonville.
Right on. Back to your old stomping grounds.
In December is going to be a little bit of a OKC.
Right on.
Little Rock, Arkansas, and Huntington, Alabama.
Damn, just all over. Wow.
Yeah.
Just all over the place. You be working. All right, well, say bye to the people in the future.
Bye, people in the future.
We are back. It worked. I'm happy. Moon.
Moon.
Back to the present. B, you can go to his website and see some of his other shows that he's got scheduled. Unfortunately, that was all in the past. But we have time traveled and reasserted ourselves back in the present. Eshna. Last we left off with you were gearing up for your long rest, and you were out on the balcony just kind of getting the vibe of the city and understanding how things were working when one of the stars straight up moved. It full on pivoted, implying it was in the movement of it implied that it was a bit closer than most stars are. And,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And after leaving a note for Levy saying don't break Thylo, you journeyed off to go kind of discover what you could.
Naturally, Thylo is now definitely broken, just not
yeah. One long rest's worth of time later, that you've been kind of taking your time and moving about the city and you eventually find yourself led out to that same beach where the crab was dashed against the cliff.
Poor crab.
And the cave where the ominous harmonica music was playing. You find yourself in that kind of neck of the woods, neck of the beach, and you've been sitting there. And the star seems to have relocated itself directly over a specific area of the garden ruins, this garden reef that the Church of Hraden, the Church of Rest, finds holy and sacred. Go ahead and make an Arcana check at advantage, because this is your area of expertise.
Yeah. And this one. Me 15 plus Arcana. Oh, really? I'm not good at Arcana. 14.
14. Okay. Without getting into any spoilers, you find this telling. You find this telling of certain parts of your backstory, in the sense of certain people are making moves. Certain individuals that you are familiar of are up to stuff, and they don't move this with this level of intention lightly or often.
Okay.
So this is potentially monumentous.
Can I infer if this someone, is it a person or is it like the stars that my druids worship?
Is a person.
Okay.
And a bit of time goes by, and you watch as, while you have spent all this time kind of meditating and kind of really taking a think to this,
while I'm meditating, I want to take I have all these jewels and bracelets and things and lots of jewelry that Levy has made me, and I'm gonna take one part of a bit of a necklace, and I'm just gonna take out one of the jewels. I'm going to look down at my dress, and so anyone who's taken enough time to actually study the dress that I'm wearing, it's a correct star map. So you have all of the constellations as they appear on the night sky, and I'm going to take the jewel, and I'm going to find where on the star map this star has located itself to, and I'm going to stitch it into the dress.
Okay.
Sorry, my dog's having a nightmare. Entei, wake up!
You're good.
Entei.
Oh no, poor Entei.
He's over there making
I'm
squeaky
just
noises.
saying this right now, Taylor. I am not drawing that on the dress when I make future illustrations of Eshna.
It's just all the normal stars. The dress always has stars.
I
on
will
it.
add some beautiful sparkles to it by.
Yes. No, just
And
the sparkles.
I wish you hadn't said
wake
that,
my
'cause
dog up.
I'm gonna know that now. Whenever
Wake
I
up.
go to draw it, I'm like, there should be constellations on this
He's
dress.
passed out. I threw an entire like little thing of dice at him and I missed.
Oh no.
Are you awake now? Hi, baby. Okay, sorry, he was squeaking. He was scared.
Aw,
Poor baby.
poor baby. I still, anyway, I'm reminded of the time when I visited and the dog got out. And we were like, oh, and we had to figure out how the dog did it. Anyway.
The whole adventure.
Yeah. Side quest if there ever was one.
We're in swimsuits running around cactuses. We're like, how are you out there?
How? Tell me your secrets.
Anyways, I sew this onto my dress so that I know the location of where they are.
You mark it. And I will say this, in that time, the big ship that belonged to Cyrom shows up at the reef. Farther away, so that they're not necessarily intruding upon the reef, nor is the ship big enough to danger those shallow waters. But you do, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
14 plus 3. 18.
18?
17.
17.
Nah.
You watch an individual clad in white robes and a silver half mask on the prow begin reaching hands up and casting spells, likely spells of identification or searching of some kind. And then the star shifts into a violent green. It becomes quite bright, not to the point where it's daylight or anything like that, and then fades back to its former self.
Ooh. Okay. Interesting.
And then slowly it begins... sorry. Good lord, car. Oh, my window's open. I'll have to fix that. Come on, Jeff. Sound quality. And then, as it fades back to its normal hue, which is kind of a whitish, like a normal yellowish white, real fast, a shooting star of that same violent green hurls across the sky in a northeasterly direction. You are in the southern westernmost part of the map, so it's not super helpful. But regardless, you watch the white-robed individual see this and begin saying something. And as the ship pulls its anchor back up and starts sailing off in that direction, this white-clad mage dives into the water and disappears from view.
Okay, so the mage is in the water. Got it. I'm not going in at... Well, I'm kind of curious. I would like to... I would like to go into the water, and I would like to wild shape into an octopus.
Okay.
And I want it to be that constant, like how they can change their colors. I want it to be just the constant kind of like star-esque painting, while also mirroring like however the stars are hitting or the lights are hitting the ground. So I'm not casting invisibility, but I'm a very stealthy, beautiful octopus.
But you are going hard with the camouflage.
Yeah.
You begin making your way in.
I need octopus stats.
Because you are octopus. You are octopus. Many of the strange sea life that you encounter leaves you alone. But you do find some odd stuff. You see a swarm of quippers, which are essentially like piranha. You see a couple of ruins that have been crusted over with barnacles and other sea life of the like. You eventually locate the mage. The mage appears to have cast water breathing and is searching around. Go ahead and roll for stealth. The stealth roll will be easier because you are taking lengths to be camouflaged.
Octopus specifically has underwater camouflage, advantage on stealth checks while underwater.
Then roll advantage.
It's gonna be 17 plus 4 for stealth. It's an 18, 19, 20, 21.
Okay. You see as he gets up to this massive hole in the center of the reef, and he stares at it for a second, and then appears to shiver. And you see as he casts some spells, and you look, as he looks, at a specific mound of reef, and begins swimming his way towards it, and crawls in.
I'm gonna octopus walk over that way.
Okay. As you begin doing your little octawalk, you get to it, and
You see George laughing.
you kind of have to get up on the surface of the water to look in, and it seems like there's this right on the water level, almost volcano shaped, this building. And there's no roof, and so the water is gently lapping and falling into the room.
Okay.
And it's the entrance of what appears to be a very intricate structure. This is likely the ruin of the ancient civilization that that Thylo's father had a vested interest in.
Okay.
And as you're kind of chilling there, kind of taking all this in, you begin to smell incense, and you hear the chanting of Hraden's priests. And you kind of look over and you kind of camouflage down and kind of flatten yourself out. Two little eyeballs kind of peering out, and you watch the last of this part with Thylo, where Thylo is. The knapsack is pulled out from over his head. They cast Revivify on him, and they look a little confused. Search him, and then and he's already weighed down by rocks tied to him as they throw him in the drink into the big hole in the center of the reef. And they look at each other and kind of shrug like, we did our job. Regardless, I don't know why the Revivify didn't work. And one of them begins rowing back to shore towards the cave with the strange harmonica music. You see as one of them is looking at the stone head, kind of confused.
Okay.
And another one cracks open the bag of holding and starts pulling out all of
all this stuff.
all of Thylo's father's research.
Oh man. Okay. Shoot. Okay, so he's just thinking.
Yeah, he's
and Revivify didn't work.
Correct.
How close is he to me, and is that other dude still there?
The other dude has gone into the dungeon, if you will, into the dungeon. Room. You can see various pools that he has like immersed himself down into.
Okay. And where's Thylo falling?
Thylo is roughly 200 feet away from you, in a different part of the reef where the hole is, and has already disappeared into the darkness.
Oh, well, that's sad.
It's that meme. Oh no! Anyway.
Oh, no. Oh dear, Levy's heart will be so broken. I'm sure he's fine. He's crafty. I need his stuff though, because I think if he does make it out of whatever the heck it is, that he would be really upset if his dad's shit was gone. So, I wish I can't do anything in octopus form, but when I get a chance, I'll send a familiar down there.
Okay.
To help him out if he needs.
Okay.
So I'm gonna follow the boat.
Okay.
I'm gonna let him.
You begin going fast, a little octopus speed.
Yeah, speed.
Little jet propulsion.
I just grab onto the bottom of the boat.
Okay, you get onto the bottom of the boat, and it begins making its way towards the beach. The cave itself has a small little river feeding into the ocean, and they begin rowing and kind of oaring their way, hitting the sand and pulling themselves into the cave.
Okay. I would love, just for comedic, one of the times that the oar went down, I grabbed it and came up to get a look at them, and then it went back down, and I just want to, like, survey where the stuff is.
Okay.
And then go back down and let go.
You kind of...
I just want a quick peek.
You get a little peek. Let me roll on perception. Oh no!
I'm the same color. I'm the same color as the cattle.
It doesn't matter. And you see the dude with the oar kind of, and he whips it. And roll strength to stay onto the thing as he tries to whip you off of the oar.
Can I ink him as he whips me off of the oar?
Advantage because suction cuppies.
I know, I was like, do I have advantage? I don't think I have. I have a tentacle attack, but I don't think that counts. 15 minus 3 strength, so plus super 7. It's a 16 minus 3. That's easier math. That's 13.
Okay. You manage to stay on, and you get a glimpse. The stone head has been stashed into the bag of holding, and so you can just see the bag of holding that one of the guys has kind of tucked in under his belt.
Okay, but I've clocked the guy who has it.
Yes.
Wonderful. As soon as I'm back in the water, I let go until we get onshore.
Okay, once you let go, they're like. One of the other ones was like, "Why would you be so aggressive towards one of Raiden's flora?" And he's like, "Oh damn, you're right. It just startled me. I'm sorry. Oh well, if you don't tell anyone, I won't tell anyone."
I have a question.
Okay.
And I don't know if this works, but as a Kalashtar, can I still do my mental link even when in octopus form? Because it just goes off of someone I can see, and it's not a verbal component thing. It's just a race thing.
I think so. I think you can, because you can smite while wild shaped, and that's a class feature.
Okay.
Yeah, it just prevents you from doing spells. That's it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
cool.
say yes.
Yes, I can mind link. Great. The one that put me off. I just want to swim until I can see him, but he can't see me, and it's just gonna be like, you should listen to your friend. How dare thee?
Is this going to be another season of you becoming a goddess? Is that what's happening?
And then I'm just gonna be like, I'm off the call, the Kraken, and I'm gonna ink as I like run, but I'm gonna quickly come back around the other side.
The dude like freezes up and like does like the ultimate. He gets out. He gets out and just starts kneeling on the sand. He kind of wades into the water. He goes, I'll be there in a second, guys." And he just prostrates himself and starts praying and apologizing to the goddess of rest, Raiden.
Is it the one with the bag? Okay, I'm just gonna be like, yes. Keep praying, and I'm gonna come up underneath him in my inky mess, and I'm gonna try and grab the freaking bag of holding.
Roll a sleight of hand.
Yes.
I didn't know how you're gonna go about this, but I didn't expect that.
8 hands. Do I get any sort of advantage for 8 hands? Here. Oh, come on.
Scientists say that octopus have 6 hands and 2 wonky legs, so 6 hands to get a bag should be fine.
Come on. I have +2 to dex, so that's gonna be a 15.
Okay, yeah, you get it. You manage to.
Yeah!
You grab it and you kind of like tuck the bag in, and then the dude sees you.
My 2 wonky legs, I tuck it in.
The dude sees you and looks up at the sky, looks out the ocean, and begins petting you.
Do not touch me! Think of your sins. I'm gonna scurry away.
I'm the hand of God. I'm the hand of God. I've touched God.
Is that all the stuff? Did I get all the things?
Mm-hmm. You get the bag.
Yes!
He starts running back in like, guys, I spoke with Raiden! He starts freaking out.
I burst out of the water. I octopus walked for a little bit, kind of like shake it off, and then a wild shape back into myself, and then just sprinted to town.
Okay. You sprint into town. You throw a familiar towards the hole.
Oh yeah.
And
literally just take like an octopus again and swing it by the legs. Yeah. What do I use? I'm using something special for it so that it can go farther. I don't know. It's one of my special familiars that can leave farther away from me and isn't concentration. It's like an actual familiar that's going off. Not my little crowd of them.
Okay. So you get the familiar, which you can see through, as you're making your way down back to the city. You're just about to the city when your vision from your familiar gets very strange. Very dark hole, goes deep, keeps going. And then I don't know if you've ever seen the underwater level from Mario 64 with the big eel with the big pointy, that thing. The thing that haunted me as a child.
Great.
That thing slowly appears out of the shadow with dull greenish hue light from its sockets appears, and it kind of, one eye kind of turns to you and sees you, and it kind of notes your existence, but is very much more interested in the supposedly dead Thylo match. And you can see him you can barely see him, just kind of floating there. And it looks like it's about to eat up Thylo, when this being speaks. A small pale green weir light approaches, and you kind of notice this, you kind of clock that, and then the being holding the weir light. Yama, you can post the pictures of Nightlight.
Oh no.
Appears.
Why am I scared?
Is this
not this one? I believe I can make use of this one.
If you guys would like to see the pictures, go ahead and jump into the Discord and the Terraform channel. And you can experience what the party's experiencing.
Wow.
Strange bone-like face. The 6 wings that you see in the mini are actually like tentacle like fins that propel. And you see this book, and immediately you know an evil magic item when you see it, because this has faces growing out of it that looks like they're constantly screaming. And she holds the book, holds the weird light over the book and consults it before she you watch as she begins the giant serpent begins, and the soul of Thylo begins to be drawn out of its pores, and that's when Nightlight says no.
Okay.
And instead, she cups his face gently and then pulls him slowly farther down into the black.
Levy's got some competition. She's not gonna like that. Fudge, that's terrifying. Is my little familiar able to follow them?
Can try.
Yeah, I'll be like, you just, okay, good luck, good try, go for it.
Okay.
Ooh.
It continues
Jeff,
attempting to go ahead.
I would like this much effort in pictures that cause me trauma as towards the nice, cute NPCs that
you know what?
often
I'm glad you said that. Yama, you can go ahead and post the pictures of Marin, Braylor, Lord Braylor, and Wuniri.
Oh, I want to see!
Yay!
Which one was it that Levy was trying to set me up with?
That would be Wuniri. That's the one with the scruff.
With the scruff.
Marin is the portly little halfling.
Look at the cutie.
Who used to be a druid. and is now a rich noble who was able to buy his own lordship, and bring guns to this land.
Doesn't like horses? Question mark.
And Lord Braylor himself.
That's not what I thought Winiri would look like.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it is just inspiration because it's an AI, so it's not.
Well, no,
official.
Taylor is now having problems with saying no.
Oh,
yeah, that's like
I knew
my
where you were
type.
going.
I'm like, that is my type. Yeah, why is he hot?
Okay. Let's jump. I have more to do with Eshna, but for now, let's do a round of combat with our phenomenal party.
I'm
Is
ready.
anyone else getting James Corden vibes from Marin, that second photo?
Hey, yo.
I don't know who that is.
Okay. Not just me. Good.
Inspo to position 2. That's me!
No! You don't
Thank
get
you,
it!
Yame! Mods on my side. There are my warlocks.
Somebody roll it again and don't give it to Jake. That's my only request.
Yeah, I heard that too.
What?
Oh, don't give it to Jake because PvP. Now I see. Now I see.
Oh, right.
Why were you confused? How have you forgotten?
I thought
I've been stressing about this for a week.
So that said, Anarian, you're currently flying up. I believe you're a few feet off the ground, but you came down at one point. You are going to be leading us, and then it's going to go to Pod. And
No, I'm in his face, remember? And I have a dodge ready.
That's right. Thank you. You
I'm
did,
ready.
and you did swing dodge.
That's right.
It's going to go Anarian, Pod, and then Levy.
Okay.
So Anarian. You do have Spirit Guardians up.
Bob and weave,
Yes.
bob and weave.
Spirit Guardians and Twilight Sanctuary is also up.
Right. Thank you.
How far away is Big Guy?
Big Guy is about 100 feet away now, and he's got a meat cleaver shaped sword.
How's he looking?
He's looking okay. There's a reason he was one of the last ones standing.
They didn't do any wear and tear to him on his journey to the top.
He appears not quite bloodied, but he is enraged.
Okay.
Y'all, I have inspo now. I am interrupting to note this.
Thank you, Doma, for the posture check.
Thank you for the inspo.
All right.
When the hell hydrate? He says, "Got to keep y'all in check."
Do I want to keep my friends alive for the big fight, or do I just want? All right.
Torky, you're so excited.
I'm so scared. Both my mom and I laugh when we're scared, and I just smile. I smile nervously.
I do the same thing. I'll start like crazy laughing if I'm like in danger. And like for example, if I'm driving and then someone like cuts in front of me and it might be a car accident, I will just be like, we're good, everything's fine, we're fine, and I will keep saying that until impact.
In fact, they were not fine. It was not all okay.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh damn, okay, we're good, we're gonna be okay, we're good.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I start laughing and stuff like a second after the fact. I'll be like freeze response, and then I'm like, like, oh my gosh, we're alive. You guys can't see it, but my palms are sweaty and my feet are kicking. I'm so scared.
Oh, he's in guiding bolt range.
Ooh.
Yep, he is.
I'm just gonna like, hey Levy, and I'm just gonna point behind her at the big guy.
Okay.
I have my dodge ready. I keep my eyes on him, and
maybe we get him first.
All right, you attack him and prove it.
And I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt.
Okay. And that's a spell attack, I believe.
It is a spell attack. That is a 21 to hit.
21 to hit. 21 hits.
All right.
And what kind of damage is this? Radiant?
Yep.
Okay. I'm in danger, meme.
Always. Somehow I became beefier this season, and I am still in danger. Nothing changes.
28 radiant.
28 radiant. Damn. Okay.
And then I'm going to do that. Look at Levy. Agreed.
Fair enough.
So when I move away, you're not going to hit me with an opportunity attack, all right?
How much do you trust me?
Don't say that.
Not at all. I'm going to move.
Smart man. No.
Are you swinging on him?
And I hit him. No, just kidding. No.
Aw.
No.
And then for my bonus action, I'll...
Okay, you crossed the distance.
I'm not going to... I won't make it all the way there, but 30 feet closer, so
Okay.
70 feet away.
Okay.
And then I will roll for my temp HP.
Nice.
And I don't think I actually have any bonus actions. Nope.
Nope.
And I am flying higher.
Okay, you're getting some height.
Does his weapon look like it has reach?
It does.
Okay.
Okay. Is that your turn?
Yes.
Pod. First and foremost, a lot of people have just died. Roughly 250 people. And you're standing there. And you notice something. A crack. A strange crack appears within the air, almost nothingness. It kind of you watch as maybe the most recent person to die. It starts there, and you watch this kind of cracking, shattering effect begin panning throughout the arena. It's not visually there, but you're sensing it with your mind's eye because of the strange things that are happening around you. And then as the healers begin reviving people, it begins fading and healing. Make a perception check.
Man, these perception checks are working wonders for me when I need them. 9.
9? Okay, that's actually enough. Because you, with your 9, you're able to determine that no one else can see this happening, or else everyone would be freaking out, because that's terrifying. But you do notice Marin, who has kind of come out of the little side hole that goes down into the stables of the tourney, is also like wide-eyed and just straight up. You see as he gets really, his eyes get really wide. He looks at the mage breakers, and he trying to look casual, quickly runs back down into the stables. Oh my God, we have a Marcus! Thank you so much, friend. Welcome in. We got a little bit of PvP going on right now. There's a tournament, and the opening act was this massive 250-man brawl. And the last ones standing are Anarian, Critfail Jake, Levy, that dorky cosplayer, and Pod, aka GoodGriefGeorge, and this brute of a man, who is just running down the tourney towards the party. Welcome in, friends.
All right, so I'm gonna roll to see how Pod reacts to this, and that's not great. Okay, so this is gonna be interesting. Pod sees the crack, and then the crack in the air starts to kind of heal as the healers begin to heal. It notices Pod notices Marin. Pod is still in the what were they wearing last episode? They were a half orc.
Yeah, a big half orc garb.
So it was like a dress of some kind, with like a strapless sleeves and all that. And they're now in like their other form, and a corset, and they're back in their regular form, so it just doesn't fit at all.
Oh, no.
That corset's probably the thing keeping you clothed right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Just to paint a picture of what Pod looks like right now, and Pod sees the crack and then sees the healers doing that and begins to go, no, I need to see where it goes. No, and sees the guiding bolt coming from their brother Anarian, and then guiding bolts one of the clerics.
What?
Oh no! Oh no!
Make a spell attack.
Yeah.
You absolute lunatic!
I know.
Anarian, get your brother! Get your
So-
sibling!
Pod is not
Adopted.
thinking clearly. Like you said, there is so much blood and death happening around them right now. All they want is more experimentation.
Pod doing?
That's a 17 to hit.
17 hits this cleric, who just kind of is like, it's gonna be okay, you're fine, everything's fine, this was a controlled situation. Oh my god. Roll your damage.
Oh,
This was a controlled
wow.
situation. No.
All right. 20 radiant damage. I rolled pretty good on that.
Oh, these are members of the Church of the Stormfather, by the way.
Pod does not care right now.
Okay.
Pod wants more death. They want to see this crack come back.
Guys, I was wrong. There are more people in this fight than I realized. All the clerics.
Oh yeah.
All the clerics stop and look at you. And it's like that moment where the fiddle music stops, and all of the crowd starts going, "Oh."
I was also not supposed to be involved in this fight at all.
Right.
So, like,
All the people in the crowd are like, is this part of the show?
Like, oh wow!
Oh.
What a plot twist! No.
so, does that just damage the cleric, or does that?
Yeah, it doesn't kill him.
Dang it! How far away are they?
Oh, darn.
About 50
God,
feet.
He's alive.
I would say Pod begins to move like maybe 10, 15 feet slowly towards them. Just a wild eye in their look. Stop healing! Stop it! Must see the crack!
Can either Levy or I hear any of this that's happening right now?
I think it's safe to say that Levy would have turned as you went around her and took off, making it so that both of y'all were able to see this.
Anarian, is this normal?
No, this is new development. I'm just gonna like look from Pod to the cleric, Pod, cleric, Pod, cleric, and then are all the other clerics like getting ready to like?
They look more shocked than anything else.
Okay. So I have precious little time to try to rectify the situation.
Even the giant Goliath is like, oh, oh my.
Why couldn't they at least be in their Goliath form so then they wouldn't look like me?
I gotta say though, I love the voice you just used for this giant Goliath. Oh boy!
Oh.
Like, oh boy!
Good heavens. By the
Oh
12.
my! I
God's
dare
above.
say.
I dare say, sir.
Harmony's haunches.
That's what astonishing.
By the velvet atlas.
Just to make things more interesting, I'll use my I'll use my channel divinity, and so that the creature that I'm like asking to stop healing, they'll just see my eyes just go like completely black.
Okay.
As I cast as I do my Pats of the Grave Channel Divinity on them.
No.
And what's that doing?
The next time you or an ally of yours hits the cursed creature with an attack, the creature has vulnerability to all of that attack's damage, and then the curse ends.
Excellent. Okay. Okay.
This
Levy.
is where we are.
Go ahead, Levy.
This cleric gonna die.
Oh, buddy.
Ashna, you're gonna be up after her turn.
I'm thinking. I'm trying to think between what a freaking Levy would do versus what I want to do.
That's fair.
I was not planning this. Y'all are not following the script I have been working on for a week in my head.
How do you think Jeff feels?
Who cares how Jeff feels?
Ah, there it is.
Valid. That's the antagonist.
I am actually gonna go ahead and say that I flew 30 feet away in the opposite direction. I didn't see.
Okay.
Because it like.
Wait, so did I not yell at you saying?
Yeah, I mean you might yell at me, but I may let me roll see if I hear you.
Okay.
Because I am focused on Big Boy.
Right.
Okay.
You're honed in.
No, I do not.
You don't hear me?
Now this is a festival.
The wind is in my hair. I'm too focused.
Pod's brain is a festival.
All right, Levy, what are we up to?
Okay, how far is Big Boy?
Big Boy is still about 95 feet from you. Pod, however, is about 25.
So how far is the cleric?
The cleric would be about 60 feet from you.
Is there a way for me to position myself? Now, I need a more precise number. Is it 60 feet from me?
Yes.
The cleric? Okay. I want to position myself so that Pod can't see me, because I'm assuming his focus is not going to be, their focus is not going to be on me. So I'm going to position myself further, though, to ensure that they do not see me do this. And man, y'all, I swear. Okay, I'm going to cast, I'm not sure if this is an action actually or a bonus action. Let me double check that real quick. I'm sorry. It might be a bonus action. It is a bonus action. Okay, for my action, I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
On Big Boy, sending both beams to Big Boy.
Okay.
Oh, what's the range on Eldritch Blast?
120 feet.
Oh, sweet. Like it.
Everybody's shocked I knew that off the top of my head, huh? Let's all be
proud of
amazed.
you. I'm not amazed, I'm proud.
Yeah.
Legit proud of it.
Such pride.
She's growing. Okay. I rolled a 16 and an 11.
16 and 11. The
Need the
16
added?
hits. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. You gotta add your spell attack.
The added is, I think it's +3.
Okay.
Where'd that go?
Then
No, it's +5.
Okay, both
so
hit.
it's
Roll your
16.
damage for both.
Okay. I'm just doing the damage. I said it's 6 or 9. That's a 9 and a 2, and I don't think I add anything to that. Yeah, no, nothing gets added to it. So a total of 11. 11 points.
Okay.
I don't like that laugh, Jeff.
Don't worry about
What's
it.
that?
Anything else?
Yes, for my bonus action, Levy is going to cast Healing Light, which gives 4d6 to everybody of my, does it say of my choosing? One creature you can see within 60 feet.
Okay.
and I'm gonna heal the cleric.
Okay.
And
Everyone
give
cheers.
4d6.
The crowd's like, ah! Eshna, we'll be doing some RP stuff.
Okay.
I have more to do.
3, 6, 9.
I'm running with the
13.
bag.
13 heals.
13 heals. Got it.
Yes.
All right. All right, real quick, let's jump over back to Eshna. Eshna, you're stepping into the city. Immediately, the festival is going on. You've got the bag. You've secured the bag. And you're moving about the city. You're going about, and everything seems okay. Everything seems fine. And then you hear, Eshna. Eshna. You look over, and Quip from the Roa, the tumbler who you traveled here with,
Yes.
is in like a trash can, and he's peeking out. He goes, Eshna, come here.
Come on. What are you doing?
Looks around.
I
gets
quickly
out of
also realized I was just in the water, so I'm pulling every hood I have over.
Oh gosh.
I haven't had time to put makeup on.
Because you wild shaped, you're good to go.
Okay, I don't know if I put makeup on while walking through the woods, but we're gonna
Oh.
say that I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 100% something you would do because
Yeah,
you've
okay.
been doing it for so long.
True, yeah.
Oh,
Why trash?
don't worry about that. I've got something to tell you. And he gets out of the trash can and like dusts. He prestidigitates himself clean, and he
Okay.
goes, Jocelyn has me looking for you.
Why?
I'm not sure, but apparently some people are looking for you, and it's big bad. So
Who is looking for me?
Jocelyn knows. I don't. You gotta come with me.
Okay.
And he uses his urchin background to quickly weave you guys through back streets and stuff like that to get back to the Roa.
Okay.
You're brought into a wagon, and the all the Roa kind of like pile around you to kind of like conceal you going into the wagon, and you find Jocelyn kind of sitting there. He's got a pipe, and his hat is kind of down. He looks disturbed. He goes, good, welcome, thank you. This little street slick here has been going about and doing some interesting things. I don't think you would recognize this individual, but Pod and Thylo would. This is the individual who turned in Thylo to Maya. Tell her what you told me. I don't know. Again, I'm just trying to feed my wife and kids. And he goes, speak. Yes. I may have found your little friend, the one with the weird eyes, kind of wandering off to the side. He kind of spurned me a little bit. He was a little rude to me, and later I found out that the Church of Ahraden was looking for him. So I might have told him where to find him, and might have helped with it. And so he's been taken. But apparently the go on. Speaker Onat has essentially put a hit out on you guys. All the clerics, in response to the Church of Death's accusations, are looking for a fall guy, and apparently that's gonna be this lady here and the dancy one. The clerics are apparently not able to be targeted in such a way, but the Church of Death and the Church of Rest are very much gearing up for something of a civil war, and the Church of Ahraden knows that this isn't a tussle they want, and so they're all looking for you.
That's a lot. Okay. First off, slaps him across the face. Ever say my name, or Levy's name, or any of my party's name again, you will not be able to speak.
Roll
we
intimidation at advantage because Jocelyn is helping. And Quip is just kind of like on top of the wagon, hanging upside down, looking in.
21.
21. He goes, yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna leave town. Frankly, I'm out of here. I'm gonna head towards.
Only smart thing that you have said. Right. Which clerics exactly?
The Inquisition.
No, to look first.
The Inquisitors. From what I understand is that the Church of the Stormfather doesn't really know all about all this, and they're trying to keep it under wraps, if that helps.
Okay. Wonderful. Do I know where Levy is?
Yeah, you would know that she went to the tourney.
Okay.
And is probably there enjoying the tournament, rubbing elbows with the nobility that you met.
Great. Well, what's his name? Starts with a J?
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn.
My lady.
May I please have 2 more outfits that are outside of our normal wear?
Of course.
Thank you. I appreciate your help so much.
Whatever she needs.
Yeah, you got it.
All right. While we're getting those, I have to go find Levy. Thank you for making me aware.
And he kind of steps outside with you as you're leaving and goes, do you need me to take care of him?
Oh, he said he won't speak again.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
What is he going to say?
We protect our own.
Okay. Well, if you wish, then that is your decision. I am not going to make that decision on your behalf. In my mind, huh?
1 circle. It's a parting farewell.
Circle. So it's up to you.
All right.
In my mind, he can't say anything more about us that hasn't already been said. So it doesn't really matter.
Quip takes you to one of the other wagons, one of the costume wagons, and he hooks you up with whatever you need. While you're there, you do notice a small stash of potions.
Great. Quip, do any of those potions mayhap allow us to breathe underwater? For any of your shows?
Let me take a look.
Yeah.
We've got 5 of them.
I will take all of them, please.
All right, yeah, no worries. Whatever you find out there, if you're going out to the gardens, I assume, I'll pay you for them.
You'll what?
I'll pay you for whatever you bring back from whatever's out there.
Oh, sure, wonderful. I will see what I can find. It might not be in this town.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Be careful
maybe
out there.
along the way.
Be careful
Thank you
out
so
there.
much. Thank you for everything and letting us travel with you. It was a pleasure, and I can't wait to see you again.
He bows low.
And I do this a courtesy.
All right.
Okay. I'm going to gather supplies, sprint off to the show.
You take off to the show, and it's about this time where you enter the tourney, and you see all the bodies of the brawl that has transpired, and Levy and Arian and Pod in the thick of it, squaring up with the cleric or the giant barbarian, respectfully.
I just got a chill.
Oh. And you're going to get another one as I pop into your mind. Levy. I'm so glad to see that you are holding your own. However, we need to leave immediately. And
as soon as I finish this fight.
No.
I don't.
No, you can't cut it off. I'm still here. Immediately.
You
Levy.
do make a perception check, Ashna.
You just hear the I got
Nat 20.
Nat 20. You do see various members of the Church of Rest Inquisition starting to take up the more obvious exits.
Levy, your exits currently are being closed off by the Inquisition, who wants to murder us for show. So please, my dear, get out.
Only if Anarian drops out first.
I go into Anarian's head. Anarian, do you see all of the Inquisition? Don't say hello. Do you see all of the Inquisition kind of blocking the exits right now? It appears they want to kill us for what you and your siblings have been causing. Between the two of them, they have decided we must be the example for your deeds. So get Levy out of there immediately. Also, Silo is underwater and we need to go save him. So chop chop if you want to save your friend. And then I'm gonna pop into Pod's head.
Boon.
Not even waiting for anything in our insight. Pop into Pod's head. Pod, your best friend's drowning in the ocean, my dear.
Oh. Yeah, that'll pop him out of whatever
Really?
funk we're doing right now.
We need to go save Silo. So if you'd be a dear, help your brother and Levy and meet me at the ocean as soon as possible so we can go save him. Hmm?
Yeah, Pod almost like lurches to a halt as they were walking towards that cleric, but then the shake, the eyes go back to normal, and then he's just looking around like
Cleric's just like,
oh shit.
That's a good boy. Let's go.
You notice that there are 2 exits that are not closed off, and that is down into the stables on either side of the center of the tournament of the tourney. Anarian, you're up first. It's about 40 feet to one, about 60 feet to the other. The 60-foot one being closest to Levy and Pod.
This is open arena, right?
Yeah, you can also just go up.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna swoop down to Levy. Time to go. You did real good. It's time to go.
Say I won.
Just say it. Just say it.
Technically
Please.
speaking,
Say I
once
won.
we leave, he
Please.
wins. So neither of us wins.
How bloody is he, Jeff? How bloody is
He's
he?
about bloody. He's definitely got some fight still in him. You can see he's got a little bit of a limp to him now, and one of his eyes is all messed, and he's bleeding from the side of his mouth.
Come on, we got time.
How? Like, does he look really bad? Like,
He doesn't look. He's
one turn to finish him off bad.
That's pretty much up to how what you don't know, man.
You can fly, I can climb. We can get out of here. We got time.
You don't know the church like I do. We need
You
to
don't
take.
know me.
This is why I say Eshna and Arian are the dad and mom of the
I
group.
don't feel like dealing with Eshna when you get hurt because then she's going to blame me. So we're leaving now.
So you quit.
This is a lot in 6 seconds, I'm just saying.
That's a good
Yes.
point.
Yeah, it is. It is
Yeah.
a lot.
You just hear, put her to sleep. I don't give a shit. Get her out of there.
I'm really, really sorry. Sleep.
Can I dodge? Since I was in range?
This is a
You can't dodge sleep.
dodge
Reaction?
is a pointed. If someone's swinging on you,
I
you
don't have
get.
reaction.
Attack.
So how dodge works? If correct me if I'm wrong here, George and Jake. Swing on you, it is at disadvantage because you're taking the dodge
Disadvantage,
action.
and you have advantage on dexterity saving throws.
But if I'm not
Yeah.
wrong, sleep is an AOE.
yes, and sleep doesn't have a saving throw.
Oh no!
It's eye
it's
roll, and
just-
Yeah.
if I roll higher than your health pool, you drop.
Yeah.
I can see the thumbnail for the video now.
I
Of Jake being like, "That's two!"
I had all 3 of my
And Arya
attacks
sleep the
ready.
entire party at some point in time.
I am the goddess of rest.
There is one person that you cannot make fall asleep.
Actually, he's put you to
That's
sleep.
true. That's true.
But
No.
no, not me.
You needed to
But
sleep that
I
one
can-
night.
That character, you can't put Thylo to sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
Oh,
put Silo to
true.
sleep.
Else to sleep.
True.
Not willingly anyway, right?
Right.
Yeah, he's an elf.
I'm not even
How
sure
many
if he
dice does he
can.
get
I'm
to
not even
roll?
sure if he can fail it. Like I
He
think
gets so
even
many
willingly, I
dice.
don't think he can.
Maybe. I don't know.
How many dice you get to roll there,
Dice
Jake?
gods, be on my side. I've prepared too long for
Oh,
this.
there's no way. Last time it was like 60 something.
Yeah, I get to roll 9.
Natural ones, natural
98.
ones.
98.
Crit fail, Jake. Crit fail, Jake. Crit fail, Jake.
You know what? Those run D20s, so shush.
It's a different dice.
No.
Crit fail, crit fail, crit fail, crit fail. Lowest numbers,
I
lowest
swear
numbers.
we love each other. I swear we do.
We've had 5
Fail,
episodes
fail, fail.
and 2 PvP combats now.
I just love the idea of Esna hated that she was put to sleep. She's like, I'm good.
Just do it.
Burn sleep.
Oh,
I know
Jake,
you
you
can
have
do it.
inspo.
Thank you.
How dare the audacity?
What is your health?
What'd you roll?
44.
What do you need? The max or the
Nope,
what I'm
whatever you
at?
currently
I
have.
just-
What are your
I just
health?
need to have over your current health.
Oh!
I need one.
And she falls and he grabs her and phew.
No.
Mama Bear always wins.
Let me have this.
And as he does that, I'm really sorry. I win.
You didn't win. The other guy's still up.
You're asleep.
I'm just. This is dorky talking.
She's sleep talking. Is there other guy still up?
No, how dare you?
You not win.
The audacity.
You lose that.
Anarian with the audacity. What's funny is this episode is called No Rest for the Wicked.
Making sure everyone gets plenty of sleep. Look, I'm just.
All right.
I'm still not asleep.
Except for Thylo, who
Yep. So
didn't sleep.
that's Levy. You are down. You are doing a snooze. Pod.
Yeah. Pod immediately turns around and they hear the thing and the thing. They'll take their action to shapeshift the thing and the thing. I know what I said. They'll shapeshift back into the half orc female.
Everyone goes,
So
whoa,
that
wait,
the-
whoa.
The uniform fits me again, so that I can properly run.
The cleric is still in awe.
properly run.
Yeah. I'm coming, Thylo!
down into the hole.
Sure.
Okay, that's one of the exits that's not blocked by Inquisitors.
Well, where's Anarian?
Anarian went up.
I'm flying over to where I assume. I guess I wouldn't get an actual visual, like an idea of where she is based on the telepathic link.
That would be
or-
back towards one of the exits where the Inquisition is. They haven't noticed her. They've got eyes on y'all.
I did say Thylo was
Yeah, I'll head
underwater,
towards
so.
the beach,
Okay.
I guess.
Okay,
at
you
least.
begin flying.
So where's Levy?
Levy
Anarian.
is being carried by Anarian.
Okay, so you are
Unconscious.
carrying.
Yeah, so you're
In
alone.
case anybody missed that.
I wasn't sure if
We
you were
didn't,
carrying
honey.
her or not. I will follow in the direction that Anarian is going.
Okay, so you cut across. You leap over the wooden beam towards the far hole, and you get into the hole.
Sure.
You get into the ramp going down into the stables. You can see a couple of startled horses, some people yelling and confused, and a lot of people just getting out of your way as you begin pummeling down the way. Anarian, you are skyrocketing, and you realize you've got a tail. An individual is in pursuit. The Goliath is like, yeah, I win, cowards all.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yep.
And you see this Aarakocra is just boom, just right on your tail, about 30 feet behind you, jet black with these strange accents of gold and this pointed aerodynamic helm.
I'm gonna slow
with this
down when I get
long
within 15 feet
spear.
of me.
Within what?
15 feet of me.
Okay.
Because my spirit guardians is still intact.
Yep. She gets within 30 feet and is gonna make, I believe, a con save or a wisdom save. I can't remember.
I believe it's wisdom.
Wisdom. That, my good friend, is a 19.
All right, it takes half damage.
Half damage. Gets to you. Goes for the spear thrust.
Might be a good time to wake me up, Anarian.
If it was gonna get there already, then I wouldn't have slowed down. Like if it was like shoom.
Oh well, it got there because you slowed down.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't going too fast and just passed him.
No, they have they have the same fly speed.
Okay. Well, then I wouldn't have slowed down until we could catch up. I would have slowed down so we'd stay stuck behind me at 15 feet.
Maintained at 15 feet.
I would have let him get close and then maintain.
Okay.
Because I don't want him actually hitting me. That'd be stupid.
Sure.
He's stuck in my radius, and if he wants to keep following me every 6 seconds, he's gonna be taking saves.
Okay. He's going to use the dash action and catch up with you.
Yeah.
So now he is on
17.
you. What's that? 17.
17.
And does that already halved?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, 17. Half of that.
Okay.
I'm making you do the math because I don't like it.
That's fine. That's 9. And ends his turn right on your tail. Your turn. And just remember, you currently have Levy, so you've got one hand free.
Right. Well, good thing I have Warcaster, so.
Nice.
That don't matter to me.
Excellent.
And
you have inspiration.
How many health points do you think it's got? Sleep. I'm just kidding. That'd be really mean.
You can do that.
Yeah, but then it would fall and like die and take a bunch of fall damage. And Amnarian's just not that kind of person.
Okay. Nice.
The difference between Jake and Anarian is showing.
Nah, Jake's
Are
a
you
good boy.
implying that I would?
You thought of it.
Because it's a strategic game, and yes, that would be the most efficient thing to do.
In Jake's defense, this dude's trying to kill him.
Now this for Pod.
My name is Pod. We are not the same. I'll let people fall to their death.
That dude would have been dead 2 turns ago.
Ashna, do you?
I love how close we look to each of our. I'm like looking at the screen with all of us next to our little peoples, and I'm like, everyone looks so kind of similar to their characters.
Yeah.
Love it.
Actually, George with all that hair.
Oof.
Yeah, all the hair. I need to get you a wig or something.
Please.
Yeah.
A wig that voluptuous would be.
I'll find one.
Intense.
I'll find one. I'll tease it out. I'll put some extra curls in it just so it's nice and big.
Oh my god. I would wear it for every episode.
Bring it to the LARP.
I will. Yeah, if I have time.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Which everyone should go to, by the way. You should check out Final Fall because, you know,
Yes.
we're going to be there. So.
And I didn't take Toll the Dead. What is wrong with me?
What?
All of us at the same time.
How?
I'm an idiot.
So wait, what cantrip did you take that does damage?
Oh
Word
yeah.
of Radiance?
That does sound more like your character.
Because I wanted to do because it's AoE.
Yeah.
All right.
I have a complete AoE build.
Is Eshna able to just like pull up this like new like hood and like fade into the crowd as walking
You do have
out?
to roll for stealth versus the passive perception of the Inquisitors that are near you. What is AoE? AoE is area of effect. Like Fireball has a radius of 20 feet, and that's the area of effect.
I did that well. I did not do that well.
Oh no!
I got a 7 for sneaking out.
You put up the hood and you start slinking away, and then you hear, "There she is!" You start hoofing it. And you begin darting through alleyways and moving through, and you get around a corner and you look back and you see Maya specifically in pursuit, and then Quip shows up out of nowhere and just shoulder checks her into a wall. And that's the last you see as you break eyeline and dart away.
Freaking, I'm gonna get Quip so many cool things from the bottom of the ocean.
Quip is in y'all's corner. I love Quip. Quip's one of my new favorite NPCs.
Great.
I'm gonna betray Quip so hard.
I will murder you.
I guess
No
I'll just
NPC is
guiding
safe.
bolt him, I guess.
Looks up at me. Father, help!
Like I get angry and all of
Anarian,
this
just
with
wake
like
me
this.
up.
You're not going to be able to attack or do anything
air.
while
Yes, I
carrying
can!
you in the air. Oh,
Yes, I can!
She actually probably could.
Yeah, she can throw him.
Throw me! No.
She can blast.
Throw me! Oh yeah, all the black.
She got spells.
She's just holding on to you.
just her feet are like over here, and she's bent
Yeah.
like around the shoulder. Just bah, 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 bah.
I imagine it as like the fireman hold, where it's like the front of her is
Yeah.
fully down the front.
Oh, that's so
She's
funny.
upside down, all of the hair is just a wild flaming red.
whole action to wake you up.
I wish I was so much better at drawing.
I lied. I can't do anything.
Yeah.
She immediately starts fighting an Arya.
Just
Yeah.
throw her
Punching
at
him in the
Aarakocra.
side.
Like, bye.
Yeah, she's a monk. She can make that fall, right?
Ew.
Right?
Yeah, featherfall,
Alright,
featherfall.
so I'll use my bonus
down.
action.
Girl.
Oh, that's not a bonus action. Okay. So I'll just wake her up.
Okay, you wake her up. Levy, you come too, being carried by an Aryan, chased by an Aarakocra who has murderous intent.
Oh crap.
Use your patron stuff and knock it out of the air.
I have no clue what you're talking about. Can I cast Eldritch
Yes.
What do you mean?
The worst liar for a performer.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
She
rolled a
spent her
15
life
and
on
an 18.
stage.
What's that?
Rolled a 15 and an 18.
Add the pluses for me.
Okay, my pluses.
I believe
for
it's a
Eldritch
21
Blast,
and an 18.
It's plus 5.
Plus
so
5, so 20.
30, 20, and 23.
All right, both hit. Roll your damage.
Well, there we go. And my damage is a total of numbers 8 and 5.
8 and 5. Very
That's
good.
the total of numbers.
8 and 5. And is that your turn?
Oh, do I have more? I get to go more?
That was your action. You've got
Oh.
movement speed and bonus action.
Well,
Can't move.
Yeah, I don't know what you do. I'm just making sure you know that you.
I'm going to use my sorcery points
Okay.
to cast Eldritch Blast again.
Okay.
And Jeff, obviously my movement was spent moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I rolled a 18 and a 22.
18 and 22. Very good. Both hit. Roll your damage. Damage.
A
Let's go
total
down to damage.
of
Get some damage.
16.
The purse. 16. Very good. All right. Start of the Aarakocra's turn is going to make a wisdom save.
Oh, right.
That is a 9.
That is probably gonna fail. I'm gonna double check. Yep, that does fail.
Okay.
10 damage.
10 damage. All right. With the 10 damage, he's going to slow down. Fireball.
oh no.
The both of y'all need dex
Fudge.
saves. Levy at disadvantage, I believe, unless there's something that an Aryan would give that helps with that. Although I think earlier you said something about having advantage on dex saves.
That was while she had the dodge action.
That was
That's
bad.
right. Thank you. All right, both of y'all make dex saves of 15.
Do I still have the dodge action? I didn't
No.
use it.
No.
Because of being carried in midair, you're gonna have disadvantage on that.
Actually, I'll say this. Anarian's gonna roll, and if he succeeds, you succeed, because it's just a matter of him diving out of the way and he's carrying you.
Yeah.
The natural 20.
Oh, well, hey, if you want to roll, it's at disadvantage.
She helps.
He just grabs his hair.
She
No!
helps me
This
dodge,
way.
and we'll just use her.
He throws
Like
her way.
Ratatouille, I am gonna tell
Well, we get Anarian.
I got the better
We're
view.
gonna
I
use
can tell.
inspiration that I have real quick.
Okay. Dorky, you rolled the first one. You got to roll the second one.
I
Here,
thought you said I couldn't. It didn't matter.
If you wanted to do it, It is.
What?
It doesn't matter much. Arian, what'd you get?
I got a 17.
17. Okay, you guys are taking half damage. Oh, that's a wow. That's 3 1s.
Yay!
5.
Nice.
2 6s.
So what, 2?
Hang on.
So,
I gotta do the rest of the math.
Because it'd be 1.5.
17 damage halved.
What?
Okay, so
9 damage.
Thank you.
you had 9 temp hit points, Dorky, by the way.
Nice. You do have to roll for
And-
concentration in Arian. And so does
So
Levy,
what-
I assume.
So that's 10, right?
Correct.
What do I need concentration for?
Yep, so it's a con save. Add your constitution, roll a d20. You have to get over 10. Oh,
No,
you
that's
said
just me,
earlier
not-
there. Just you?
No,
Okay.
it's just me, not.
Okay.
You're not
Levy, you were
concentrating on any
asking
spells.
earlier about con save.
Yes, I was.
Concentration.
That was for one of the many things I had planned for the fight.
Oh,
with
okay.
Orion.
I have concentration.
All right, cool.
Contain.
He falls back. She kind of lets you guys go, but is keeping an eye on you and
How bad
kind
does
of
she look?
just. She looks fine. But let's go to break. This is fun. We return.
woo!
We are back.
I think you understand how this countdown works, Dorky.
What do you mean?
I think she
did it perfectly.
understands.
Levy pops off some shots with Eldritch Blast, forcing the Aarakocra to take cover and lose sight of Anarian and Levy. A little bit of time later, the party.
Hey, I said I still wanted to hit her.
you can
That's what I
you
just
can roll
said.
to hit and shoot your shot.
Yeah, I want to keep going until my 120 feet is up.
Well,
Well,
I'm gonna be dashing, so like
Yeah.
you're gonna get like 1 off.
You're one.
And they'll be out of range.
I will take my 1.
He's going fast as fuck, boy.
Okay. 22 and 18.
Both hit.
I rolled a 9 and an 8, which is 17.
Okay. All right, and then
And then I'm gonna flip the bird.
put the bird at the bird. All right.
I've taught you well.
Pod and Eshna, you're the first to reconvene on the city limits towards the beach.
I'm gonna take one of the extra new outfits that I have, seeing as I know Pod's not gonna be able to when they change. So I'm gonna be like, here, if you want.
Right. Hello, sweet buds.
Not a fan
That's
of
the
that one.
secret word, remember?
No.
She wasn't there for that.
He wasn't there at all. Not there at all.
Okay. Honey bunches, please take this.
Okay. I'm sorry, what is this?
It's just like a smaller robe.
Oh, okay, okay.
And it's gonna be like,
Another outfit. Yay!
yeah. Like so Philo is over there somewhere, taken by a very terrifying looking lady, mermaid, demon, something.
Over there, you mean in the water?
Yeah. There's one of those ruins that I believe he was talking about over there. So there's also another powerful, a mage, I think, that was searching for stuff, is down over there.
Mm-hmm.
So, there seems to be an area where we can get in and maybe find him. I have pull out one of the potions. I'm like, if you need to help breathing underwater, or if you could just change into something that can breathe underwater.
No.
Okay.
Pod begins walking to the water as
Well-
she's chugging this.
Pod, do you want to wait for your brother and Levy?
But he's already in the water, probably drowning.
If he didn't already have magical protection, it would already be too late. But I'm sure he's got some good tricks up his sleeve.
Okay. I'll wait.
Okay.
The two of you walk down the beach and reconvene with Anarian and Levy. But before that, Anarian and Levy, you touch down on the beach by the cave.
I'm just saying, the fact that you called it quits before me means that you quit first. You're the one who suggested it.
You're the one who fell asleep on the battlefield. I know what to tell you when I walk away.
You didn't even win. And she's much shorter, so she's like having to like half like speed walk, half like almost jog as she's like trying to like hop up in his face.
I like to think that Anarian also huffs like 1 foot off the ground. The party reconvenes.
Hi.
And as soon as she sees Eshna, she's gonna slink behind Anarian.
Oh no! Oh, now you're gonna hide behind him. You were just fighting with him a second ago. We could hear you all the way down there.
Hello, sweet buds.
Hi, sweet buds.
Why is this a thing that we are doing now?
See, I told you.
It's the code word.
For what?
So we know when it's pod.
Oh, well, that makes a good amount of sense.
Go back.
I was going by the mustache.
You never know when another dashing individual is gonna have a good mustache.
You're right. You're right. Anyways,
back into ASMR myself and goes, wait, I still have a mustache.
Pod, you always have a mustache.
yeah.
Eileen, you didn't know that?
I thought you did it on purpose.
No!
Oh.
But you've looked amazing with it every time.
Every time I try change, I still have the mustache. Oh, no. Oh, my parents are gonna kill me.
Eshna's gonna walk by, hands a robe to Levy, and then hands a potion to Anarian. So we need to go under water. There seems to be some sort of cave.
Yeah.
Why?
Explosion.
Well, because somebody took our lovely little wizard friends and threw them in the water with a ton of stone. So another reason why I was
problem
trying
if we
to
just
get you
stayed
out
together,
of
but
there.
no, he has to wander off on his own.
Thylos in the water?
Yes, and he was taken by some weird, monstrous female mermaid black inky thing. I don't know.
Why didn't you go get him?
Well, because obviously, 1, I needed to get his stuff, and 2, I needed to get to you guys. 3, they tried to revivify him and it didn't work. So, it was not really of the utmost importance.
Right, so can we stop
She's
talking
going
and go
to the
save?
water. Going to the water.
Yep, we can go now.
Okay.
I'm gonna take one of the drinking potions.
Okay. The party begins. Is everyone potted up and can breathe?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm all potted up.
I have 2. I have 2 left.
Okay. The party begins moving throughout this reef. Let's all roll a d100 for me real quick.
Wait,
What?
What?
Levy didn't drink a potion, did she?
Took one.
She didn't.
She
but
accepted one.
I didn't see
No,
her drink it.
I didn't hand one to you. I handed you just a robe, and then I handed a potion to Anarian. I know.
Okay.
I got
He's not going to say
64.
anything, but he does make a note of the fact that she didn't need anything to breathe underwater.
I must have missed this. What's going on?
I didn't drink.
Levy didn't drink
Ah,
a
okay.
water breathing potion.
All right.
Hail hydrate. Thank you, Phantom.
Oh, hey.
So I have 2 left for if your guys' runs out, and then I can turn it to a fish or something.
53.
How long does it
53.
last? An hour? Oh, okay.
No.
Rounding, we'll know.
Yeah. I have 2 left for when yours run out, and that will tell us how long we have.
What everyone else get on their d100s?
We got a Nintendo 64.
I got a
45.
31.
31 from who?
Pod
and Anarian.
45.
45. Okay. Quickly, the party is swimming through this reef. Every now and then you can see people on the surface. Priests, inquisitors. And every time you dive down into down to the bedrock and avoid perception. Yes, Eshna.
Just as we're going, I'd like to activate my sight for magical items.
Okay.
Just for anything small that glows along the bottom.
Okay.
Once we're deep enough and it's starting to become hard for anybody without dark vision to see, I would like to cast, a gem in one of my jewels and cast light.
Well, you don't have to, because in this case, with the reef being the shallows, the only thing you have to worry about is the really big hole, which we're not there yet.
Okay.
Swimming along, and with the party of 4, most of the wildlife does not really mess with you. Who has the highest passive perception? Let's take a look real quick. Pod. Okay, Pod.
It's clearly me.
Pod, you're swimming along, and you start to notice that Levy is starting to give off a faint cloud.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay.
Listen, Pod's a changeling. They see stuff happen, and they're just like, okay, sure.
Well.
Unless something super drastic happens, I don't think Pod's gonna care.
Nothing yet. You guys
Our passive perceptions only being 1 point apart. Does Anari notice this or no?
Sure.
We'll say I gave her a new cloak. Or whatever that hides.
It's not to the point where anything is being discovered, but you are noticing a bit of a...
It's just a little murky.
Yeah.
Yeah, also that.
Yeah.
Has the same energy of, he's just resting.
Man, it's
Levy, you're evolving.
From her and Eshna.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't notice. I will say anything I want to say. I can still talk to you guys.
Oh yeah, don't ever assume we can't talk to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goodness.
We always can.
A shipwreck, sunken and low, about 20 feet below the surface of the waters. It's pretty much just the front half of the ship, kind of nestled into the reef. And there is a bit of glow to Eshna's eyes.
I'm gonna radio in on whoever's in the front of our swimming formation and just be like, over on that wrecked ship, I see something. I'm gonna start swimming towards it.
Okay. You start swimming towards it. Levy, that's when you notice Eshna's makeup is beginning to wash away.
She's going to, as she's swimming, which she does beautifully and effortlessly, start doing this as she's looking at
I look at her and I see her do this, and I just see waves of makeup and dye come off as she's doing this. I'll be like, well, you wanted them to see our true forms, so...
I was being sarcastic.
Well, better not do that again.
Nothing to worry about just yet.
Darian, I think our friends are molting.
I'm melting.
Is it the season changing?
Oh, no. Do you think they're even human?
Or are they supposed to be human?
The impression I got, but you know.
I never assume anything.
You're not a human, so
yeah, look at me. I can be human. You want me to be human right now? For a comparison?
That'd be great. Yeah, you do that. Do that.
While you two are talking, Eshna.
It's just like Pod's like here, and Arian's just like.
Eshna approaches the ship.
Right with her.
Okay, Levy following in tow.
For the magical thing.
Mm-hmm. You can see. How do I explain this? There are two entrances into the interior that is more or less blocked off from easy access. You can see the kind of at the prow of the ship a rift that's kind of opened up in the wood that's kind of rotted away. That's very, very narrow. And then there on the inside of the ship, you can see you've got that kind of top deck and then the normal deck, right? Below the top deck, you can see a window and a door. Into the assumedly captain's quarters. The door is closed and the window is foggy.
Can I swim over to where that crack is and see if I can just stealthily like peek in and see what I can see?
Sure. You won't be able to easily fit into through this crack without a roll of some kind, but looking around, you see many, many eggs and this strange kind of mucusy substance covering everything. But underneath all that, you see a chest. A lockbox of some kind.
How big of a chest?
Not too big. Maybe the size of a football. An American football for my European watchers.
Okay. I'm going to hand the bag of holding to Levy, and I'm going to be like, hold this for me, please.
Don't open it.
Don't open it. I'm going to wild shape into an octopus again.
Okay.
I'm going to grab the bag of holding, and then I'm going to squeeze my octopusy self through, no problem, because long as that can get through, the beak, that's what it is. And then I'm going to swim without touching anything.
Okay.
Over to it. I'm going to like make sure that I look up and around as I come in to make sure there's like mama's not in here.
Coiled, poking through a hole in the ground, is the massive eel monster that you saw. And its eyes kind of sightlessly doesn't seem locked on you.
Okay. Now question, if I were to like try and grab the chest and then like put it in the bag of holding, am I able to do that underwater or no?
Opening the bag of holding would be problematic for all of the books and the papers that belong to Thylo's father. Also, the chest is under layers of these eggs and mucus.
Kind of hindering my plan.
Did you find him? Did you find him, Esther?
No, I've not found him. I have just found this eel, with all of its babies in here, was near him when he was taken. It seems to be some beast belonging to the woman that took him, or creature that took him. And there seems to be a magical chest in here. I'm trying to figure out how to maybe grab it, but I need to move some of these eggs very carefully.
Right. So Thyla's not there, so we should keep looking then. And maybe not worry about a chest right now because Thyla's kind of in danger.
If you wish, it seems good to know that the eel at least is here.
Right. It didn't eat him, did it?
No. It tried to. It looked like it was trying to like take his soul.
Oh.
Yeah.
Levy is just progressively looking more stressed.
Eshna will come back out as the octopus, hand the bag of holding back to Levy, and then just kind of stick onto Levy's shoulder. He's not in there.
My mom's an octopus.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That you're still souls, you said.
Yeah, it seemed. It looked. And the thing that took Silo stopped it.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
oh okay. Alright.
Okay.
Pod will remember this.
Yeah. Magical chest. Big old bee.
The party
Alright,
continues
swimming,
onward.
Swimming on.
The party continues onward, eventually getting to the place by the hole. You approach you guys swim up to essentially the side of this hole. Before you is the hole. To your left, about 50 feet, is the slow incline to the entrance of that ruin that you saw the Mage Slayer go into. The hole is deep, about 100 feet around, and you can't see the bottom. It just fades into darkness. Even with Levy's dark vision, you can see farther down, but it just keeps going.
Okay. I'll pop into each head individually and describe what I saw before of him looking for items and then finding here and going in.
It's gonna be dark down there, right?
Yeah, it is.
Adaria, can you help out?
You will want dark vision, or do you want light?
The dark vision is probably easier.
All right. And I'll give everyone 300 feet of dark vision.
Okay.
Cool.
Nice.
That is pretty cool.
Boom! You can see the bottom of the hole. There's various caverns and little nooks tucked away, some larger, some smaller, and many bodies at the bottom.
Ooh.
I'd like to swim down to the bodies.
Yep.
You begin swimming down the hole. It starts getting colder and colder. You get down there and you start looking around the bodies. Looks like all elderly folk. The occasional non-elderly folk. All to appear to have drowned in some way with their throats slit. Rocks tied to their feet. A part of the ceremony that the priests of Hraden, the Church of Rest. Victims, if you will. No Pod. Sorry, no Philo.
I was
Pod
like, where
just
did Pod
stops
go?
existing. Huh. Ah!
We're like, no Pod! Anyway.
Yeah, it's like, no Pod. Like, whatever you're thinking, no.
I'm guessing all of different species.
All with kind of the garb of the Church of Hraden. Seems to be a specific death ceremony. Unique to the Church of Rest in this part of the world.
Is there any I haven't seen before?
Bodies?
Like different species.
Oh, one Furbolg.
Pod studies it intensely for a moment.
Oh yeah.
And then the body begins to shift as they go from human form from earlier to a Furbolg type form. So he's trying to like test the waters on how to test the waters on creating this species that they can become a Furbolg at some point.
It's a little difficult, but you manage it because it's decomposed.
Yeah, Levy is not stopping. She is just continuously looking.
Okay. You determine that Thylo's not of the deceased.
He's not here.
You said someone took him, right?
Yeah, some weird, dark, I don't know, she had like 8 tentacles of some sort, wing-esque things. It's very difficult to describe when you say anything like her. I believe she said not this one. I think that was to the eel, though.
Are there any like signs of like where I guess like tunnels or anything going through?
There's a couple of tunnels. A couple of larger tunnels that the eel is clearly able to pass through. A couple that are too small for the party to pass through, but one that is roughly y'all's size.
And one was just right.
We'll go through that one, I guess.
Sounds like it.
All right, say hello to the dungeon. Yame, post the pictures of the dungeon vibes.
Woo, we made it! First
Are
dungeon!
there any animals around? Are there any?
Yeah, you can see various sea urchins and other such.
Oh, never mind. That takes a vocal point. I can't do vocal underwater, I don't think.
If you have a potion of water breathing, you can, I believe.
I can? Cool. Okay, cool. I would love to find one of those animals and ask it some questions.
Okay.
If possible.
You approach one of the sea urchins.
Can you cast spells while you're wall-shaped?
Oh, that's right. I'd have to pop out of it. That's right. I forgot I did that. Never mind. Ignore me.
Okay.
I'm losing track.
The party travels into this cave. Eventually, a current starts picking up, pulling you deeper.
I don't like that.
Continuing onwards, you get to a fork. The current pulling one way, the other path less strong.
I vote current.
Yeah, if he was going to be...
Yeah.
If his body's floating around, then yeah, he'd probably follow the current, right?
Probably.
Good
Thank
plan.
you, Herald Studios. Appreciate you. Thank you, friendo.
Let's do it.
Okay. Party follows the current. You see a light. There's a surface of the surface of the water appears before you. You're still underwater. You can see some ancient stones, stairs going up into a room, and it's about this time. Anarian, Pod, Ashna. Your pot of water breathing wears out.
Oh! Uh-oh.
I'm an octopus. I'm fine.
Levy's gonna hook their arms and swim faster.
Okay. You grab them, take the dash, and you kick your feet.
Mm-hmm.
And oxygen. The water pooling off the side goes over a waterfall.
Oh.
You find yourself in this massive hall. You can see coral grown along the sides. You're in this room, and so you've got walls to 3 sides, some open doorways, the doors having rotted away, and on the final side of the room, open. It's an open expanse, and you see hundreds of waterfalls. And if you were to look down the side, it goes down a ways. If you were to look up, you can eventually see a ceiling, which is half collapsed, and you can see the sky up there with waterfalls kind of pouring on the sides. At any given wall, there's faint water trickling down. Looking about this room, there's 1 or 2 skeletons, an old barrel in one corner, a table, and 2. No worries, B. Have a good day. Have a good night. And 2 archways traveling away from this area. You are in an ancient ruin. Eshna, roll perception for me.
Okay, okay. Oh, 18 plus 19, 20, 21. 21!
Okay.
21.
21.
A lot of barnacles along the feet, along the floor. But there's one spot kind of under the table that is less so covered, and you see that what was once beautiful marble has a design. You don't really see what, you're only getting like 5% of whatever this floor's design is. And now that that's got your attention, you can see that other parts of the floor are less covered in sea life, but have since regrown back, and so you can just see slightly less parts of barnacle crustacea.
Can I like, since I'm still an octopus, can I climb up like the side of one of the walls to like view it more from above to see if it makes any sort of pattern of some sort?
You go up, roll investigation.
Okay.
This is gonna be a difficult roll because all of the barnacles and stuff still covering all of the view.
6?
Oh, I think Jake said guidance. Yeah, guidance. You have guidance.
Oh. 7?
7? Can't really make anything out.
I like that this is the guidance.
Yeah, it's been that way since Kjol. You can't make anything out because of all of the overgrowth.
Can I cast speak with animals? Or okay, I gotta pop out of.
Down first.
I gotta pop out of wild shape, which I can't stay up there if I'm in wild shape. Which means even if I make them all move, I'm not gonna be able to see anyways. Well, but Jake can, because he can fly up. I'm gonna come down.
Okay.
Pop into my normal form. And I'm going to like, they're just going to see me, like, when I pop out of wild shape, I'm still laying on the ground.
Okay.
Like the octopus.
Sprawled out like an octopus.
Yeah. And I'm going to speak with animals, and I'm going to talk to one of the little barnacles.
Okay.
And they can all understand me, and like all the barnacles around. And I'm just like, hi. I don't want to harm you.
Oh.
Would you mind please moving off of the floor?
Hi. Yes, so polite. Come on, chaps.
And they start.
I just want it noted, I have this headcanon image of Eshna being very, very, like, elegant all the time, and I'm having a very hard time picturing an elegant
Druids
so just imagine, like, she was in octopus and then she popped into
see that I can picture.
George.
So before the response is made, so Eshna has popped out of her form. Does she not have her makeup on anymore?
It wasn't enough to fully reveal what's going on with that.
Okay, wanted to be sure before I.
It's strong. Like,
yeah. The setting spray that we use is like really
It can
expensive.
survive through wild shapes. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. No,
Okay.
that's the easy part.
All right, that's fair.
But yeah, so I just have to, and I'm gonna be like, Anarian, would you mind flying up to get a little bit higher view of the floor? I don't know why, I just feel like there's something we need to see at a higher angle.
You're muted, buddy.
You're muted.
Yeah.
It's an official episode. I was worried, man. We only have like half an hour left.
Yeah.
Anyway, how well is the room lit?
Barely at all. I would
Perfect.
say.
I fly into the air.
Okay. You aloft.
I was worried he'd be like, it's surprisingly brightly lit. I'm like, dang it.
No, this is a very dark and dreary dungeon, which I have the wrong music going. I had a specific music I wanted for this dungeon.
I'll say the vibe of the pictures is like very nice. And
This
lit.
is true. Yeah, those most of the pictures I post are not like 1-to-1 ratio. You know what I mean? Not exactly,
Right.
but it gets what's going on in my head more across. It's a constellation.
Oh.
Of a twisting trident. You recognize this, Eshna. Anarian, having also studied the stars, would know this constellation as well.
What is the constellation of the trident? Like, what is its name properly?
Just trident.
Oh. Looks like
Eshna,
a constellation of trident.
I'm gonna send you some private information.
What? Pod is paying no attention. Pod is like currently playing with his new ears.
Aww.
Like, hey, look, Levy. They got the same ears as Thylo. If it wasn't trying to hide him, look at him. He's got they're all pointy and stuff. Look at that.
Oh. Wow. Very
Okay.
impressive, Pod.
He's kind of cool. What we gonna call this species?
Does he still have the mustache?
Okay.
Does Pod still
Oh yeah, still have the mustache.
Yeah.
It's just a furball, big old like bulbous nose, glorious mustache, like kind of gray skin, pointed ears.
Pod love, just because I know you didn't necessarily want this per se, you do know
yeah.
your mustache is still there, right?
Oh no. Does it at least look good?
You always look good, Pod.
Oh,
Kicks the ground.
Aw.
thanks.
I think Bob works perfect for this form.
This is Bob.
Bob.
Bob
Bob the
this is
Furball.
good. That's a good name of the race. These are the Bobs.
Oh, no.
These are species. These are the Bobs.
It's gonna be another spackle.
We don't know. It's just Bob.
Oh no, we've just invented the fur bobs.
The fur Bobs!
Fur Bob!
Every time we meet, I hope we meet more Fullbogs in the future. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh!
Bobs.
Bobs!
Bobs!
Bobs,
Bobs!
excuse me.
How did you know my name?
Do the
Anyway,
rest of us get
what's
secretive,
going
though?
what's going on with what's constellation? What?
It's Trident.
It's the Trident constellation. So, it's not too bad of a sign, in my opinion.
I feel like you would have pounded this in my head. Do you want to let Dorky in on some Levy knowledge?
I do not
Vaguely.
think I would have told you this knowledge.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Secrets. What does it mean?
Let's wander around more and see. I don't want to give you false information before I know more.
Jeff, you said that I'd also studied, like, would I know anything about the constellations and, like, lore behind them
Great
and their
question.
meanings?
This constellation is not one that you could say is centered over this part of the continent. This constellation is very much centered over the northernmost reaches of the continent. Kind of like if you wanted to travel north, you would follow, that continent, if you will, that constellation kind of a thing.
Mm.
I just want it noted when Eshna says that, Levy will remember this. Levy's gonna go ahead and start finding a way down.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna start looking around.
You've got 2 archways that you can pursue.
Archways?
Doorless openings.
Oh, okay. I don't I just imagine just an arch in the mid, like that's it.
Is
One
the,
with stairs going.
Which one smells better?
Make a perception check.
Is the constellation Triton pointing to either one of them?
It is not. It is pointing downwards. And from where you're looking at it, it's pointing towards you, and before you and to your right. The one before you is a hallway. The one to your right is stairs going downwards.
Is there I want to feel between the two for a temperature difference.
Make a perception
13.
check. 13. Anarian, everything smells like fish. Everything smells
Gross.
salty and
I
sea
hate it
lifey,
here.
and you're not getting much of a difference.
Oh gosh, my computer screen's glitching. I don't think I have anything to perception, so we'll just say 12.
Okay, same
No
answer.
relief to the
About
smell
the
of
same.
brine.
Kind of
Ugh.
humid.
Oh wait,
Hmm.
Philo has a book. A spell book, right?
Opens up the bag of holding. Spellbook? Sees if I can get it.
Well, no, like on his person at all times.
Mhm.
I got all of his stuff.
This is true. She pulls out his spell book.
What about
Book. Because I've seen him call it book. Can you take us to Thylo?
Book remains book.
oh,
Dang it.
That's a pretty smart idea, though. It's a good try.
what about his glasses?
His ear caps. He's got caps on his ears. I will cast Locate Object.
Okay.
So the caps on his ears.
What does it look like? The casting.
Let's see. So he'll... Levy, let me see one of the ears you made. I just take it, like, for reference. And I, like, clasp it in my hands with a forked twig that I happen to have on my person for this purpose.
Like you do.
Yeah, as you do.
That's what it is.
And then as I pull my hands apart, there's just like a purplish glow around them. And the twig will float and the ear will set on top of the twig
Okay.
because reasons. And then it will like act like a dowser
Okay. And
and
what's
kind
the
of like
range?
start pointing
Oh, like a dowser. Okay.
1,000 feet.
Okay. Stairs downwards is where this dowser is pointing.
Way.
Go.
All right. The party begins descending down this stairway. Let us get the marching order. Who's in front?
I'll be in front since I'm tanky.
Okay.
I'll be in the back looking for clues.
Be
Okay.
behind Anarian.
All right.
I'll be with Deshna then.
Anarian, I think you have said before that if you could fly instead of walk, you would. So you're kind of floating along. Fair to say. And who's second?
Levy.
Levy, I need you to make a dex save. As you step on one of the stairs and it gives way. And this strange black blade manifests vaults
Well,
downwards on your person.
18.
18. You manage to avoid it. You step sideways as this sheer black disappears.
Ooh.
All right, watch your steps, I guess.
So it was a booby trap? Okay. Just make sure I perceive that. Yeah, easy for you to say, Anarian. Easy for you to say. And Does Honorian have a cloak? For some reason I picture him with some kind of fabric-y cloak thing.
I'll hopefully get one soon.
Whatever fabric.
Wings hard at DM.
Levy's gonna hold on to him for added support. So if she feels that happening again, she can pull something to pull her quicker out of the way.
Descending onwards, you find yourself in another small room. Only one archway that isn't the archway you're in. This one is closed off and very dark. Thankfully, everybody has 300 feet of dark vision, so they can see this room really well. There is a lean-to tent in one corner of the room. Many barrels covered again in barnacles. And it looks like some rotted papers and a campfire, long disused.
I wish Dad was here.
And 2 skeletons.
Oh no.
Levy's instantly checking the ears of the skeletons.
Bone.
They wouldn't have ears or cartilage to go away.
The more you know. Really?
Like,
even with
have you ever seen a skeleton with ears? Think of us humans.
I'm thinking of elves.
Okay, well think of us humans.
No, I'm
just
thinking
a
of
little
elves.
bit extra. I'm just a little bit extra.
Gosh, it's 9 o'clock for me.
It's cartilage, and then like the tips are bone, so there's just little like bone
Just
triangles
two little
by the
pieces of bone.
skeletons.
I kind of imagine something like that, or like one very thin bone that, I don't know, that's more so what I was thinking, but...
One of the
I'm
skeletons.
gonna start looking at the papers.
Okay.
Gross one.
Start looking at the papers. It's slimy and wet. And it looks like a treasure map. You can't make an investigation check.
Do I notice anything with the bones?
Terrible dice.
Nothing with the bones, although one of them does have this like pouch that it's holding close. This like leather wrapped satch.
Is
That's
it
a
like...
trap.
A 10. You're not able to make much aside from a vast amount of whirlpools.
Put it into the bag of holding after trying to get as much slime off of it as possible.
Going over to the map real quick. There is in the northwestern reaches, there's a famous bunch of islands surrounded by whirlpools. Might have that's kind of likely where it is. Thyla. Oops. It started playing the video. Don't play the video. You were watching. Stop that.
Because you're Silo, and I was like, he's here! We found him!
There he is!
I want to grab a rock about the size of the pouch.
We're about to Indiana Jones this.
Hell yeah, we are. Boop, guidance.
Yay! And I want to try and do a switcheroo while saying, I know that you really want this, but it's for a very good cause, as she's making the switch.
Okay.
In case the skeleton's alive.
Sleight of hand.
Oh, I am good at sleight of hand. And what is
Yeah, you
guidance,
are.
4?
D4.
D4? Oh, no. Oh, it's looking good, guys. Oh, it's looking good. 3 plus, I rolled a 19.
Oh.
So, and then add 6.
19 plus 6. So, the package, as you pull it out, is...
No.
22
19
plus
plus
6.
3
plus 6 plus 3. 19 plus 9.
So, you deftly go up and you swap. And whilst the package is surprisingly light to the heaviness of the rock, you manage to get most of the weight off to the side, and you perfectly, with such a high roll, perfectly manage to make the swap to how you think is best fit. And the skeleton doesn't even move from the swap of weight.
Oh, damn.
Can I feel the package? I want to see if I can tell what's inside.
It's a wrapping of leathers, and as you begin unwrapping it, it falls apart.
Anything inside?
It's one piece, and it's a cloak.
Oh.
It whips itself apart on its own, and seems to be covering a small. It seems to be knotted up in one corner, as if trying to keep something tight and close.
Oh.
Hello. Everything's okay.
Kind of cowers in one corner.
My name's Levy. What do you have there? I'll stand back, but can I see what you have? Okay, well, you must have been down here a very long time. Would you like to come with us? Come on, you could stick with me. You can keep what you have. It's okay.
He doesn't like you.
Aww.
Guys, I made a not friend.
What?
What?
What'd you find?
You gotta, like, look at it. You can't just, like, you gotta talk, like, give it some respect. Look at it. It's a glorious cloak.
It turns to you.
What?
Oh, you're
It
just
poses a little.
You're just interested in what it's got in its little cloaky pockets. You're not appreciating for what it is.
I'm very confused right now. Are we talking to a piece of parchment or
Anarian,
a piece
roll
of cloth
persuasion.
right there?
That is, in fact, what your brother is doing, yes.
He's lost it.
That's rich coming from you, Pod.
Yeah, I was about to say, you cannot say it.
He's lost his mind.
Oh no.
Oh no.
19.
19. You've befriended an animated cloak of billowing. And as it deems you its new owner, it didn't like you, Levy, because you disturbed its old owner. It also takes the amulet of the devout and puts it around your neck.
What is the amulet of the
Oh,
devout?
that's a good item for a cleric, is what that is.
Ooh. Quick, use your bonus action, make it billow.
Strike a pose.
Oh, this is gonna get old fast.
I get it.
It's glorious.
I love it so much.
Pod, your brother is trying to show you up.
Oh no. Eyes go black.
Can only do that once, unfortunately. Pod goes back into the ASMR form.
Okay.
Okay, ask your new friend if he saw Philo.
You didn't happen to see a big tentacly
Philo!
creature pull? Well, Thylo was pulled by the big tentacly.
Pod, display, please.
Oh, right, and Philo with the mustache.
It does perk up at the mention of the creature, the eldritch being, but then it kind of doesn't know anything about an elf.
See, I was right, you were wrong. Now, shush. Where'd the eldritch being go?
Big brother
It
energy.
kind of looks about as if to say it has come and gone many times and it's never noticed me, and I'm very proud.
It's a good job.
Good killer.
Can you recall the last time you saw it?
It shrugs on your shoulders.
Annoying, what are you doing? Now's not the time for shoulder exercises.
Look, I need you to calm down. I'm going to continue following the dowsing.
Okay. You
Little
continue
stick.
onwards. Pod, as you're walking by the second skeleton, you notice a small pouch.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna try and emulate what I saw with Luffy.
Okay. Make a sleight hand check.
Guidance.
Ah.
You cast guidance and notice it does nothing as I have guidance casted on myself.
Okay. Cool. Like, all right, well, I'll leave that one be. don't fuck it up.
It's the only time I ever use guidance is on myself.
There are 2 types of clerics.
So that's 26.
26.
Yep.
You also deftly replace it with a clam. Small little pouch. And you open it up, and immediately the smell of spices hit you. Spices you have not smelt before. New spices from far away.
I could make so many sweet buns with this.
This is Heward's handy spice pouch. The belt pouch appears empty and has 10 charges. While holding the pouch, you can use this action to spend one of those charges, speaking the name of any non-magical food seasoning, such as salt, pepper, saffron, cilantro, and remove a pinch of the desired seasoning from the pouch. A pinch is enough to season a single meal. The pouch regains 1d6 plus 4 expended charges daily at dawn.
Yes. The chef feed is going to come in so much handy now.
The pirate captain and the cook were the last to survive the shipwreck.
Incorrect. Cloak is still.
Oh, true.
here.
My apologies to the cloak.
That's true.
Ultimate survivor. You win.
No other clues to
Nope, we just have a
No,
dowsing
what I
agent.
know?
In barnacles
Okay.
on the floor.
Maybe not in here. You can take some time to chip away at the floor and find out.
Well, I more so was thinking if Philo came through recently, the barnacle would have already been there, right? So I'm looking for already broken.
Barnacles are not removed easily.
They can be broken pretty easily though with someone walking on them.
Oh, well. You don't see
That's
any.
why I said I didn't want to hurt them.
That's fair.
To speak with animals? Has it been 10 minutes? Can I ask these ones?
Sure.
Like, hi.
Huh.
Would you be willing to move out of the way
Fuck
a
you.
little bit for us? That's very rude.
Yep.
I squished that one.
Oh. The rest of them
I
go.
go to the next one. Would you be so kind as to move?
Fucking in country, fuck you!
Wish.
The third one's like, yes, miss, whatever you need, I'm happy to help.
Thank you. Oh, you're so kind.
Yes, absolutely. Holy shit.
Thank you.
Kind or smart?
You move aside. The barnacles all kind of quickly flee, and you actually find a third skeleton. No new interesting barnacles or anything like that. But you do find a third skeleton. This one is much older. Make an investigation check.
17.
17. It's hard to determine to a person who's not a Kalashtar, but this is the bones of a Kalashtar.
Oh.
This one specifically.
This one has ear bones.
They're kind of pointed features, and
It has they have a dent right where their third eye is that all Kalastars have that are.
I'm never
are
living
psychic.
down the ear thing, am I?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Yeah, okay.
Jeff,
I just need you to make one breed, race, I don't care, that has ear bones. Just one ear bone
I'll
is
think
all
about
I need.
it. I'll think about it. What's interesting about this Kalashtar? First of all, it's a Kalashtar.
Yeah.
Which is
Kalashtar.
Kalashtar. very rare to see one, especially this far south.
Yeah.
But clearly, something disturbing is that on the bones themselves, almost in a cultist fashion, druidic writing along the forehead.
Okay. That's not... What does it say? That's not supposed to be written down.
That's correct. Reading it, it's in an old dialect, but what you vaguely understand let me make sure I'm saying this right. It is a sworn fealty to Amarax.
Okay.
What you looking at?
We found some druidic writing, which is not a thing. Not a thing. It's supposed to be around.
Huh. It looks pretty.
So, is there anything across the nose area of the Kalashtar?
That's roughly where the name is.
Okay. I'm guessing that that's where their constellation on their face was as well.
Safe to say.
If it's one of mine. Is anything else weird about the body?
It looks like it died painfully, almost as if in combat.
Oof. Is there does there seem to be any traps around it if I were to tamper with the body?
Make a perception check.
I'll
In
help.
the meantime,
What?
natural 20?
Let's
Natural
go!
20, baby!
Let's go!
That's like your second one, right?
Yeah, it's my second one today.
You don't...
On a different dice too, on like the fiery
Nice.
one.
You don't see any traps. Clearly, this individual's chest was caved in, judging by the ribs being all sorts of mess. You also see various warding along the ribs of supposed protection, which didn't account for much when whatever
Not
it
work.
was caved its chest in.
Okay, but no traps, so I'm going to smash its skull.
Okay, you begin violently breaking it.
Oh, it just takes one. Just
okay.
Just
You
one good smash. I'm gonna take a couple of the pieces of the bone that had some of the druidic writing on it, and I'm gonna let my primal savagery grow, and I'm just gonna grind it up with my nails, and I'm gonna let that dust kind of slough off, and then I'm going to grab just like a handful of kind of seeds as come around. If there's any sort of moss around or grime or seaweed, I'm gonna gather some of the seeds and I'm gonna spread it across the body of the Kalashtar, assuming it's one of my druids.
Our new goddess has declared war! Fight! And all the barnacles start attacking the skeleton.
Before the barnacles get to it, I'm gonna cast Druidcraft along the entire body of the skeleton.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have the moss kind of grow around it, and then whatever sort of underwater flower that is possible, I'm going to have laid out in the seeds the same constellation of the tridents. And I'm gonna have that grow. And I'm gonna say, rest in peace if you can.
Pod.
Yeah.
You see the soul of the Kalashtar find rest and enter the the astral current.
And you just hear Eshna go, while we may not dream, we can rest.
Yep, they're rested all right.
What does the soul look like?
Water. Almost like you almost watch like a almost for a second there's a humanoid form, almost like if a body was just the nervous system, and then it dissipates into like a falling upwards waterfall.
Okay. And in no way does it represent, like, does it look like a Kalistar at any point in time?
Not particularly.
Okay.
Eshna, make a religion check for me real quick.
Oh, heck yeah, I'm great at religion. That's one of my things.
Are
no, I'm not.
Anarian and Levy just still walking?
I think it's safe to say that. Good Lord,
I kid
Taylor!
you not.
Would
I
you
kid
calm
you
down?
Calm down.
Go buy a lottery ticket.
Taylor, this is not the session for this. Do it for combat. No.
Speaking of, as Levy and Anarian watch this, as Pod is kind of startled.
My little crustaceans, come to me.
You hear fuck, and then a huge detonation down below, and the sounds of brutal combat breaking out. High-level spells are being cast, and eldritch power being brought to bear far below you in the bowels of the depths of this ruin.
Levy starts sprinting.
I hate to say this, but I think that's where we need to go.
And that is where we'll pick
wait.
up next episode.